Did you know your brain can lose up to 1,000 neurons every single night without you ever feeling it? You lay your head down on the pillow, exhausted from another day of struggling to recall names or finding yourself standing in the kitchen wondering what you came in for. And while you sleep, instead of repairing itself, your brain is silently suffering from a biological crisis that most doctors completely overlook, a crisis that has nothing to do with your genetics and everything to do with fuel. I am not here to scare you, because the fear of losing your independence is already keeping you awake at night. And I know that deep down, the frustration of those senior moments feels like a betrayal by your own body. But what if I told you that your brain isn't actually broken? It is simply starving? We have been told for decades that cognitive decline is just a natural part of aging, that the fuzzy thinking and the memory lapses are inevitable consequences of the calendar turning another page. But new research is shattering that assumption by revealing that the aging brain is not necessarily dying. It is malfunctioning because it lacks the specific nutrients required to perform its nightly maintenance. When you sleep, your brain is supposed to engage in a critical process called glymphatic clearance, a biological rinse cycle where it sweeps away the toxic plaques and metabolic waste that accumulate during the day. But this process requires an immense amount of energy, specifically glucose and antioxidants. And if your tank is empty when you go to bed, your brain cannot clean itself, leading to the permanent loss of neurons and the gradual erosion of your most precious memories. This is why I want to share with you 3 powerful fruits that act as the ultimate repair kit for your gray matter: simple, natural, and accessible foods that you probably already have in your kitchen, which, when eaten at the right time, can refuel your neurotransmitters, cleanse your neural pathways, and protect your blood-brain barrier overnight. Before we dive into the specific fruits and the exact routine you need to follow to restore your mental clarity, if you care about your brain and want to protect your memories for the years to come, I invite you to hit that subscribe button, like this video to help us spread this message to others who are struggling, and comment below with the word resilience, because that is exactly what we are building today. The first fruit on our list is often dismissed as just a source of sugar, but in the context of neurobiology, the humble banana is actually a sophisticated delivery system for the chemical messengers that run your entire life. You see, as we age, our production of neurotransmitters naturally slows down, leaving us feeling foggy, anxious, and mentally sluggish. But bananas are rich in a specific amino acid called tryptophan, which is the direct precursor to serotonin, the neurotransmitter responsible for mood regulation and sleep quality. And without adequate serotonin, your brain cannot enter the deep, restorative stages of sleep where memory consolidation happens. I want to tell you about Martin, a 74-year-old grandfather who felt like he was losing his mind because he couldn't remember conversations he had just 5 minutes prior, and his doctor told him it was just mild cognitive impairment. But when Martin started looking at his diet, he realized he was going to bed on an empty stomach every night, essentially forcing his brain to run on fumes for 8 hours. When Martin introduced a banana into his evening routine, he wasn't just eating fruit. He was providing his brain with the raw materials to synthesize dopamine and GABA, the calming neurotransmitters that silence the static in your mind and allow for laser-sharp focus the next day. This isn't just anecdotal wishful thinking, as studies have shown that the vitamin B6 found in bananas is essential for the synthesis of these neurotransmitters, acting as the spark plug that converts amino acids into the signals that let you remember where you left your keys. However, fueling the brain is only the first step, because even a well-fueled engine will fail if it is clogged with grit and grime. Which brings us to the second powerhouse fruit, the apple, specifically focusing on the skin where the magic really happens. You have heard the old saying about an apple a day keeping the doctor away, but for seniors, an apple a day keeps the neurologist away because of a potent flavonoid called quercetin. Your brain is under constant attack from something called oxidative stress, which you can think of as biological rust that corrodes your neurons and disrupts the electrical signals that constitute your thoughts. And this oxidative stress is generated by the very act of thinking and breathing, making it unavoidable. But quercetin acts as a high-powered rust remover that crosses the blood-brain barrier to neutralize free radicals before they can damage the delicate lipid membranes of your brain cells. A 2020 study highlighted how quercetin can protect against neurotoxicity, effectively shielding the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for learning and memory, from the ravages of inflammation and stress. Think of your brain like a busy office building. During the day, it is full of activity, creating trash and disorder, and at night, the cleaning crew comes in to sweep it all away. But if you don't have enough antioxidants like quercetin in your system, the cleaning crew goes on strike, and the trash piles up until you can't walk through the hallways anymore. This is exactly what happens in the brains of people suffering from severe cognitive decline, where the accumulation of waste proteins literally strangles the neurons. But by consuming an apple, specifically the skin where the concentration of antioxidants is highest, you are handing the cleaning crew the brooms and mops they need to do their job. I remember speaking with Sarah, a woman in her late 60s who was terrified because her mother had suffered from dementia, and she felt the same fog creeping in, describing how she would read a page in a book and have to read it 3 times just to understand it. We discussed the concept of the gut-brain axis, the invisible superhighway connecting your digestion to your mind, and how the pectin in apples feeds the good bacteria in the gut, which in turn produce short-chain fatty acids that travel to the brain and stimulate the production of BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that acts like fertilizer for your neurons, encouraging new growth and repair. Sarah started eating an apple with the skin on every evening, and within weeks, she reported that the static in her head had cleared, allowing her to finish books and remember the plot details with a clarity she hadn't felt in years. This brings us to the third and perhaps most critical fruit for overnight repair, the orange, which provides the structural defense your brain needs to survive the night. While we often associate oranges with immunity and fighting off colds, their role in brain health is centered around the integrity of the blood-brain barrier and the regulation of blood flow. The blood-brain barrier is a semi-permeable border of cells that prevents toxins and pathogens in your blood from entering the brain, acting as the security guard for your command center. But as we age, this barrier can become leaky, allowing harmful substances to infiltrate and cause inflammation that leads to rapid cognitive decline. Oranges are rich in a specific bioflavonoid called hesperidin, which has been proven in clinical trials to improve blood flow to the brain and reinforce the tight junctions of the blood-brain barrier, effectively patching the holes in the fence and keeping the bad guys out. A 2021 study published in a leading nutrition journal found that regular consumption of citrus fruit juice was associated with better cognitive function in older adults, likely due to this improved cerebral blood flow, because your brain consumes 20% of your body's oxygen despite only being 2% of your weight, meaning that even a slight restriction in blood flow can cause neurons to suffocate and die. When you eat an orange, or better yet, consume the whole fruit with the pulp to get the fiber and slow down the sugar absorption, you are essentially widening the highways that deliver oxygen and nutrients to your brain cells, ensuring that the repair processes we triggered with the banana and the apple have the energy required to complete their work. It is fascinating to consider that nature has provided these 3 specific tools, the fuel, the cleaner, and the shield, wrapped in the convenient packaging of common fruits. Yet we often overlook them in favor of expensive supplements or complex brain training games that promise miracles but deliver very little. The pharmaceutical industry wants you to believe that the solution to memory loss is found in a pill bottle. But the truth is that your brain has evolved over millions of years to recognize and utilize the complex matrix of nutrients found in whole foods, not isolated synthetic compounds. Now, you might be wondering how to implement this knowledge, because simply eating a fruit salad whenever you feel like it is not enough to trigger the overnight repair mechanisms we are aiming for. Timing is everything. The goal is to create a specific biological window before sleep where your blood sugar is stable, your neurotransmitter precursors are available, and your antioxidant levels are peaking. So here is the perfect nightly fruit routine that I recommend for maximum cognitive restoration. You should aim to consume your brain repair snack approximately 90 minutes before you go to sleep, which gives your body enough time to digest the food and begin absorbing the nutrients without causing a spike in energy that might keep you awake. You don't need to eat all 3 fruits every single night, as that might be too much sugar for some, especially if you are watching your glucose levels. So I suggest rotating them or creating small combinations based on your needs. For example, on nights when you feel particularly anxious or wired, reach for the banana to boost your serotonin and GABA levels, helping you drift off into a peaceful slumber where your neurons can reset. On days where you feel mentally exhausted and foggy, choose the apple to flood your system with quercetin and stimulate the glymphatic clearance system to sweep away the metabolic waste. And on days where you feel physically sluggish or notice your circulation is poor, opt for the orange to boost cerebral blood flow and fortify your blood-brain barrier. However, for the ultimate brain-boosting protocol, you can create a small salad with half a banana, half an apple with the skin, and a few segments of orange, topped with a sprinkle of walnuts for healthy fats, effectively hitting all three mechanisms: fuel, cleanse, and shield in a single bowl. It is crucial to understand that this is not a quick fix that will restore 20 years of memory in a single night, but rather a lifestyle shift that compounds over time, building a reservoir of resilience in your brain that protects you from the inevitable stressors of aging. I know how easy it is to feel powerless when you can't remember a name or when you lose your train of thought in the middle of a sentence, and I know the shame that comes with feeling like you are slowly fading away, but I want you to know that you are not broken, and your brain is not destined to wither. You have the power to change your biological destiny through the choices you make in the kitchen, and by treating your brain with the respect and nourishment it deserves, you can regain the sharpness and clarity that you thought was lost forever. Imagine waking up in the morning feeling truly rested, with a mind that feels light and agile, ready to tackle the crossword puzzle or engage in a deep conversation with your grandchildren without the fear of embarrassing yourself. This is not a fantasy. It is a physiological possibility that starts with the simple decision to stop starving your brain and start nourishing it. We have covered a lot of ground today, from the terrifying reality of neuronal loss to the hopeful science of neurogenesis and repair, and I hope you feel empowered to take control of your cognitive health. If you found value in this information, please share this video with a friend or family member who might be worried about their memory, because we are all in this together, and no one should have to face the fear of dementia alone. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more evidence-based tips on how to age with strength and dignity. And before you go, leave a comment below telling me which of these 3 fruits you are going to add to your nightly routine first. Your brain is a magnificent, resilient organ that is capable of incredible recovery if you just give it the right tools. So go grab that banana, wash that apple, peel that orange, and give your neurons the fighting chance they deserve. You have the knowledge. Now you just need to take the action, because your memories are worth saving and your independence is worth fighting for. And it all starts with what you put on your plate tonight. Thank you for watching, and here is to a brighter, sharper, and more vibrant future for you and your amazing brain. Thank you for watching Vital Health. Every small choice you make today, whether it's adding a banana, an apple, or an orange to your evening routine, gives your brain the energy and nutrients it needs to repair, restore, and protect itself while you sleep. Each bite is like a tiny investment in your memory, your focus, and your ability to think clearly tomorrow, next week, and for years to come. Imagine waking up tomorrow feeling more alert, more focused, and full of energy. Picture your memories staying sharp, your thoughts flowing freely, and your mind resilient against the challenges that come with aging. This is not just wishful thinking. Your brain is designed to heal, grow, and thrive when given the right tools. Your brain is incredible. It deserves care, respect, and nourishment every single day. By making simple choices like these fruits part of your nightly routine, you're not only feeding your body, you're feeding your mind, your independence, and your confidence. Over time, these small habits add up, creating a powerful ripple effect that strengthens your mental clarity, supports your memory, and helps you stay vibrant and active. Remember, you are not powerless against aging. With every choice, every bite, and every habit, you are giving your brain the chance to flourish. Celebrate it, protect it, honor it, because your mind is your greatest tool, your most precious asset, and it deserves the best care possible. So tonight, take action. Grab that banana, wash that apple, peel that orange, and start giving your neurons the fuel, the cleaning power, and the protection they need to thrive. And don't forget to subscribe to Vital Health for more practical, evidence-based tips that help your brain stay sharp, your mind stay resilient, and your life stay vibrant. Together, let's create a future where your memories are brighter, your thinking is clearer, and your amazing brain keeps performing at its best for years to come.